Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Carmen Andrea Harris of BohemianAcademics.com. I teach mompreneurs how to create a homeschool plan that fits their lifestyle and their state law. You can learn more about me and you can get a free homeschool cheat sheet via BohemianAcademics.com. You can find that link in the description section. So if you have been entertaining the idea of homeschooling and you don't know where to begin, you want to know how do you homeschool in your particular state, then you are in the right place. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to homeschool in North Carolina. If you look at my previous videos, you'll learn how to homeschool in Florida, how to homeschool in Georgia. I have personal experience homeschooling in Florida as well as homeschooling in Georgia. I also taught for 6 years in the state of Georgia in public school, elementary school. So I have that under my belt, and I'm a homeschool mom as well. So I have the practical day-to-day experience in homeschooling. I also have the educational knowledge and professional experience dealing with children in pre-K through 5th grade. So enough about that. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to homeschool in North Carolina. So if you are in the state of North Carolina, you want to homeschool, you want to know where to begin, you are in the right place. So in my previous videos, I talk about how every single state law has these 7 components to it. You have options for homeschooling. You have the ages that are required for school. You have notification requirements, teacher qualifications, state mandated subjects, assessment requirements, and immunization requirements. For each state, these vary. For some, the answer may be yes, there are state mandated subjects. For other states, it may be no, there are not any state mandated subjects. So let's go ahead and get into detail for the state of North Carolina specifically. So for the state of North Carolina, there is only one option for homeschooling, and that is to homeschool under the state statute, meaning you have to establish your own non-public school is what they call it. So you have 2 different options. You can, number one, you can operate as a non-public school, as a qualified non-public school, or you can operate as a private religious school. Either way it goes, you have to operate under the state mandate and you have to create your own homeschool, so to speak. So the second component is the school required for ages, meaning the ages that children are required to be in school. In the state of North Carolina, children are required to be in school between the ages of 7 and 16. Is there any notification required? Meaning, do you have to notify your state? Do you have to notify the Department of Education? Do you have to notify your local public school system? What do you have to do? So yes, notification is required, and you have to give a notification of intent to the North Carolina Division of Non-Public Education. And I believe they call themselves the NPDE. So you have to submit a notification of intent, your intent to homeschool, directly to the North Carolina Division of Non-Public Education. Are there any teacher qualifications for the person who is going to be homeschooling your children? Whether it's going to be you and your spouse, whether you're going to hire a tutor. Yes, there are teacher qualifications. The teacher or the teachers who are teaching your child in homeschool, they must have a high school diploma or they must have a GED. Now, in the state of North Carolina, there are no state mandated subjects, meaning you don't have to teach any particular subjects. You just have to teach what you feel like your children need, okay? I come from an education background. I am a big proponent of education. However, I'm also an advocate for homeschooling and teaching your child your way. However, in my personal opinion, for my children in day-to-day, the subjects that we are going to always tackle is going to be reading, language arts, writing, and math. Okay, everything else to us is secondary. We get it in as we have to, as needed, but those are the basics. In addition to, I am an entrepreneur, so I teach my children about entrepreneur, and I also teach them about real life experiences. And I'm saying this from the perspective of having taught homeschool in Florida and in Georgia. Florida has no mandated subjects, okay? However, reading, writing, and arithmetic is going to always take place in my particular homeschool, regardless of what is mandated by the state or not. Next component is assessment requirements. Are there any types of assessments or tests that you have to give your child throughout the year or at the end of the school year that is mandated by the state? Yes, you have to administer an annual standardized test, meaning you have to administer a standardized test once a year. I believe it's at the end of the school year, but don't quote me on that. And then last but not least, immunization requirements. Are there immunizations